7 with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. You know, I've been trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about yesterday's game. Yes, it was a win, and as promised, you could see on the screen, that is the address to the Washington football team's team facility. And I would think that all Giant fans should take this opportunity and send Ron Rivera a card and a thank you note for that blunder you know what? And someone said it best. Someone should have told Ron Rivera he wasn't playing for a national title. Because you only go for 2 if you're playing for a national title. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm still trying to think how I feel about the win. I mean, it's good to get off the snide. It's good to get off the mat. But I see things like in the paper yesterday, like in the New York Post, where the Giants locker room is electric because of the fact that the NFC East is now in play. We have one win against a bad Washington team. And honestly, anyone who watched that game and watched it objectively, not subjectively, will tell you we didn't look good. We didn't really look good at times on offense. We didn't look good at times on defense. We have problems. But I do want to, on a happy note, along with the win, CJ Board is actually, they're saying that he's showing improvement and he's looking better. You know, it's more optimistic. So, you know, it's just basically, I think it looked like it's a sprained neck, maybe probably concussion as well. So that is fantastic news about CJ Board. Oh, also another note, Andrew Thomas, a lot of people noticed that Matt Perrett did not start. I mean, started in front of Andrew. Andrew was actually being punished for violation of team rules, basically just being late to a meeting. It was kind of a Tom Coughlin moment. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is a win. We got a win. But I don't know if the momentum is going to be there to carry us anywhere after this win. So, I mean, if we literally just sit here and look at, you know, the schedule, you know, we have the Eagles on a short week on Thursday. I'm think we're probably going to lose that game. Eagles look bad at times against Baltimore, but then they came back to lose by 3. I think we're going to get smoked in the Tampa game. So, I mean, we're already looking at 1-7 going back to play in Washington. And now what sucks is, do we have Washington's number? I mean, is it like how the Eagles has our number or has the Giants number? Do we have Washington's number? Are we going to screw up our draft because we're going to keep beating Washington? Daniel Jones also has to show me he can beat another team besides Washington. Yeah, he had that lucky win against Tampa. He should have lost that game because Tampa should have hit that field goal. But he's only ever beaten Washington. That's not a good thing. And I'm starting to worry about the progression of Daniel Jones, to be honest, because the games seem to be getting worse and worse as he progresses through the season. I kept looking for that breakout moment with Daniel Jones today. And I thought maybe with that Darius Slayton pass, that was going to be a breakout moment that was going to help build his confidence and push through again. But he's still red striping. He's still locking onto his primary receivers. And now Kyle Allen, I don't think he is going to be, you know, a great NFL starting quarterback. But if you actually watched Kyle Allen play compared to Daniel Jones, Kyle actually goes through his progressions. There's a couple plays that I saw him look at the primary, look at the secondary, look at his third receiver, and go back to his primary again. And even the announcers even pointed that out on the game. Daniel Jones just seems to be taking a drop back, looks deep, and then turns around and takes either a sack or something else. And like I said, Daniel Jones's awareness in the pocket, his pocket awareness is just not there. I thought it would just start progressing 6 games into the season. Kyle Allen, you actually saw him step up, move around. He avoided some blindside hits Jones just takes him. Jones does not sense the pressure. And after 6 weeks, I'm getting slightly concerned about that he cannot feel the rush. Yeah, he could take off and run because he's got deceptive speed, but let's not sit there and fool ourselves. He's not Lamar Jackson. Daniel Jones takes those hits. He keeps taking some of those hits. He's not going to get up. I mean, he's already shown, even last year where he got hurt, that he can be injured. You look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson just looks like a thick dude, man. He just looks like he's built. He's built to be a running quarterback. Daniel Jones, I know, with his 9 pounds of built onto the frame, it just does not have the same body type. And a lot of, like I said, a lot of what Daniel Jones does when he runs, it's pre-planned. It's not like the creativity that Lamar Jackson has. And like I said, I get worried with Daniel Jones because of the fact that, like I said, from week to week now, it's just steadily getting worse. You barely crack 100 yards, and your average play is 5.9 yards. There's an issue there. And like I said, when you got outplayed by Kyle Allen, now I know Kyle Allen played last year, but he threw like 17 interceptions, has 10 fumbles last year. Still threw for over 3,000 yards. Does that sound familiar? It should sound familiar to some Giant fans because that's exactly what Daniel Jones does. So I find it difficult how I feel about this win. I feel good from a perspective that it is a giant win, but I also don't want to. I don't want to say. I don't feel. It's funny. I some ways would have preferred them to lose in overtime, because then I could be like, well, the Washington team fought back, and then they scored, and they built up the momentum, and they won that way. But to win on a boneheaded coaching play, I would rather have taken a tie. Because to me it's not a win. We did not win this game. Washington lost it. Washington gave it to us. We didn't win it. And we have so many other problems right now on this team that it's starting to look like that Dave Gettleman's drafts are not panning out over the last 3 years. And it's starting to be concerning because, like I said, in this year's draft, it's the same way. I got blasted for saying that I didn't like this year's draft because I thought it was a lot of maybe talent and talent that it needs to grow. But, that's kind of what this team is. And this was just a bad game. And I said it yesterday, this was just a bad game between two bad teams. It wasn't even a good game to watch. It was exciting at the end. Tay Crowder, I give him all the credit in the world for getting that ball and running it back. Because, I was timing his ass with a sundial. I was like, wow, I don't know if it just lacks speed or that was just funny. I'm like, is he good? It reminded me of, I guess it was in '86 when George Martin picked off a pass from John Elway in a game and ran it 70-something yards for a touchdown. He kept wanting to lateral it to Lawrence Taylor, was running alongside him. And George Martin, it seemed like he ran that 70 yards in like 15.2 seconds. I mean, it just took him forever to get in the end zone. And I laughed because if anyone remembers, he said the hardest hit he ever took in his career is when Lawrence Taylor tackled him in the end zone after that touchdown. That's what that reminded me of. But I just need to, like I said, we need to assess this team. And I think the rest of the season really needs to be looking at and developing talent. Because we're just fooling ourselves if we think we're back in the NFC East after one bad win against Washington. They never say a win, and I always say too, you never say a win is a bad win, because even if you win by 1 or if you win by 50, it's still a win. To me, this wasn't a win. This was a Washington loss. It seems like they gifted us the game. I mean, if I was Rivera, I would have kicked the extra point, took it into overtime. I've already gotten the momentum. I've already shown that I can move the ball against his defense, and I would have tried to score again. And and that's what surprises me. We are still having problems at a team, not only on the offensive line but also on defense. We look good. We look good in spots, and that's what we always do. We still can't get off the field on third down. We still give up way too many long extended drives. Again, the time of possession was like 33 minutes to 26 minutes, which wasn't terrible, but it was still over that. And then on offense, we're still giving up way too many negative plays. What, the Redskins had like 7 negative plays against us, their defense? So like I said, I don't want anyone to get me wrong. I think a win is a win. I'm excited. I'm happy that we're not going to go 0-16. But if we went 1-15, I would not be shocked. And that's a bad thing to say 6 weeks into the season. But you know what? We're gonna celebrate this win. We are. I don't even really want. You know what's funny? I really don't even want to celebrate the win. And I know people be like, "Oh, you're just being negative." No, I'm just being honest. If you ever played sports and you ever won something, you knew you really didn't win. You never get all like, woohoo, look at me. Well, some people don't. I don't, because I think you need to earn your wins. And I don't think we earned this win. We did enough on offense not to lose, and we did enough on defense. Well, actually, no, we didn't. We gave up the points on the defense at the end of the game. We probably would have lost in overtime if the Redskins, I keep saying it. I'm sorry. If Washington football team got the ball. But you know what? We got to take it for what it is. We got to move on. We got to get into Philadelphia on a short week on Thursday and hope to goodness that we can, pull out another win. Because Lord knows, Philadelphia always seems to have our numbers the last couple of years, but who knows with Carson Wentz? They were getting ready. It's Carson Wentz, so Carson Wentz runs hot and cold. But you know what? Let's focus on the Eagles. Let's take it week by week. And you know what? Who the hell knows what's going to happen with this season? And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could subscribe. If you ring that bell, I think it all the news. That'd be awesome.